Okay. Welcome to day 3, our final day of the Goals Accelerator Bootcamp. So it's our final day where you have been learning what you need to do to lay the groundwork for the successful acceleration of your goals. Now, whether you're live with us today, or you're watching on the replay, a big hello to you and well done for getting this far. I know we had a few issues, or not I had a few issues with email, so it's all gone a bit haywire and the gremlins are all over the place. But this is day 3, and I'll be sending out the recording for those of you who want to watch on the replay or want to catch up with everything. So that's my welcome to you. Oh. Okay. Oh, we've gone too far. Get back. All right. So welcome to our VIPs. Not forgetting that you have been sent an email and you will get the option to book your 3-month, your one-to-one 3-month vision coaching session, handful or a mouthful. So please do book that, and book it as close as possible to today's date. That way it's fresh in your mind, and what you've worked on so far, you'll be able to, it will flow much better. So please don't leave it till the latest date that's on that schedule available. You'll also get your Thrive in 25 PDF and the 52 weeks affirmation system. And those you'll get after we've had that session, because I'll work with you on how you incorporate that into what you do. And then not forgetting, next week, Wednesday, is that live mindset meditation session. So that will be a live session. However, it will also be recorded, so the MP3 will go out to you by email if you are not able to attend live. So that's no problem at all. And the value of these guys is $179, but it is just for you guys on at $39. So that the price of the coaching session alone is way above that. So it's a really good deal, but it's only available to the end of today, to the end of this boot camp. So if you do want to, and if you are interested, it is in the chat bar. So you can have a look at that. Oops, not in 5 minutes. I'm going to get that in there for you. So I will put that in the chat bar right now. So if you or anybody else who comes into the meeting will be able to see it and log on and purchase that if you are interested. Okay, let's have a look at the recap of what we have covered over the past 2 days. So we talked about goal setting, we've learned about goal setting, and we've learned about mindset. So what aspect now have we learned about in general? So the goal setting, we talked about the psychology of goals and how we set goals properly, and also what stops us from succeeding in our goals and having that structure. We talked about how important that structure is. In terms of mindset, talked about those 2 types of mindset, that growth mindset and that fixed mindset. We also talked about and heard the opinions of and the quotes of those people who are really successful. Their mindset is at such a developed state that they've achieved high levels of success in their life. We talked about self-love, the power of support, power of community. And those are the first 2 areas that are really important for accelerating your goals and making sure that your goals are going to be successful moving forward. So what we're going to cover today are the last 3 elements that you're going to need to accelerate. So the 5 in total, covered 2, we're going to cover the other 3 today. And I will also offer you some ways that I can help you moving forward to be able to get your goals off of that page that we completed, those 30 goals, which I hope you managed to get 30, to get them off that page and actually into reality. It's really easy to write things down and then just file it away, or it will be at the bottom of a pile in a week or so. So we want to get away from that. So what have you done in terms of your homework? I hope that you, I hope that you have managed to get your homework done. I hope you've managed to rewrite those goals. And that little tip that I gave you to write your goals in the present tense as if it's happening, I hope you've done that exercise. And what's really helpful is when you do it more regularly. So whether you type it out or whether you write it down, pen and paper, do it more regularly. So yes, you've made that list, but it's helpful if you write the list. Some people do it daily. It can be very time consuming. But if you at least take your top 5 and if you write them out every day, particularly those of you who do journaling, that could be a great thing for you to do, to write it in your journal. What that is doing is you're reprogramming your brain, and you're getting your brain into the mode of, okay, this is what I'm doing. This is who I am. This is where I am in life. This is how much money I've got in my account. And it's part of, you know, a larger manifestation exercise and work. But that is a small part of it. And it's a really helpful exercise to do. So as the screen shows, we want to be able to be working on ourselves. So we covered that, and we covered the community aspect. But what's really important to note, that what you've done so far is a great start, because you now have in writing your big and small goals, and that's your basis of what you're going to do moving forward. And you must use this moving forward. Don't discard it. Whatever you need to do, stick it on the fridge, whatever you need to do to keep it present in your mind. Take a screenshot or scan it and put it on your desktop, whatever it needs for you to make sure it comes to life, have it present. So I want you to think about one of your goals that you have on that sheet. So if you take a moment and have a look at your sheet and pick one of your short to mid-term goals that you have listed on there. So I'll give you a moment just to identify just one short to mid-term that you can achieve within the next few months. And this is just a little exercise I want to do with you, just in terms of visualizing. Now, we all visualize a little bit different. And if you can visualize with your eyes open, that's no problem at all. However, if you want to, you can close your eyes and visualize. Sometimes makes it easier to get there. So you pick one of those goals, short to medium term, next few months, that could be achieved. And I want you to visualize in your mind where you are now with this goal. Maybe it's that it's just words on paper. It's just literally what you've written down and what you've come up with in the past few days. Or maybe it's something that you're already on the way to working on, and it's a target that you're passionate about. Or maybe it's something you've tried before and failed at, and you want to do it again. So where are you now with the goal? And then I want you to visualize next. Fast forward 3 months from now. So 3 months from now will be April, end of April. and visualize that that goal has been achieved. You have the new Range Rover, you're wearing the clothes a size smaller, you've got 10 new long-term clients in your business, you've got 40K in your bank, you're dating a fantastic guy that makes you feel happy, you've received that promotion at work, whatever it may be, you've eliminated that toxic person from your life. You started a hobby that you've always wanted to do. Visualize that you've achieved that goal. And I want you to observe yourself, and if you've achieved that goal and you are there, how does that make you feel? How is it in your physiology? How is it showing up for you in your body? What emotions are coming through? How do you feel about yourself? How much has your self-belief increased? Because that is your reality when you take steps now, because we work for our future self. So whatever we're doing today, I'm pretty sure one of the quotes said that it's what we do today. We do something today that your future self will thank you for. So previous clients that I've done this exercise, I mean, I've done it very surface level with you. It's a longer exercise and it's a bit of a deeper exercise. But previous clients have felt a sense of achievement and accomplishment. They felt excited. They feel happy. Pride has come up. I had somebody actually, I don't know what the particular goal was, but they were brought to tears. It can affect us in different ways depending on what the reason for the goal is and how important it is to us. Some of us are, maybe it's just the surface stuff, the new car or whatever. Sometimes it may be something really deep to do with relationships, to do with people who we love in our life. So deeper interventions can be done, but that's a really good exercise that you can do at any time with your goals, because that spurs you on. And it's also very handy to do when you feel a bit demotivated. So I'd like you to use that, practice it, and it will help you moving forward. So let's get to our last three essential elements. Okay, so we've already covered goal setting. We've already covered our mindset over the past couple of days. So the next three are really essential as well and form part of the 5. So the next one is accountability. Accountability is really the cornerstone of trust and credibility. And that's in both ways. I think accountability, we often think about in terms of work and in terms of business. For me, the biggest and most important part of accountability is being accountable to ourselves. And how that shows up when we're talking about being accountable. So I talked about accountability, having trust and credibility, okay? So think about accountability for yourself and trusting yourself. So how that could show up in your goals, for example, is, okay, you're on a weight loss journey and you have an opportunity to go out with your friends, and usually you go out with your friends and you go to a restaurant and there's drink and there's food and whatever. How accountable are you to yourself? How much can you trust yourself so that when you're there, you're not going to blow your diet? Are you accountable to yourself? Are you credible? Can you believe yourself? Because sometimes we tell ourselves, oh, no, I'm not going to do that. Oh, I'm definitely not. But then you get there and then there's all the peer pressure. Oh, just one. And just because not everybody will respect the journey that you're on and may try to, not necessarily intentionally, but they might want you to join in the fun or have a drink or have a cocktail. And if it's against your diet or whatever it is, or your healthy eating plan, or what the doctor tells you shouldn't do, can you trust yourself? Okay, so we must hold ourselves accountable, I believe, before even expecting accountability on the outside. Let's become reliable, not only to others, but to ourselves. And that's where the self-love comes in as well. Because if you are really operating in that space, then you'll make sure that you're accountable to yourself and do the right things for you and do the things that are not going to harm you moving forward. Yeah, so harm you so that your future self isn't going to look back and think, damn it, 3 months ago, 2 months ago, 6 months ago, I wish I had not broken my diet. I wish I had, because look where I could have been right now. Now, accountability is not just a tool. It's not just a thing that we use or operate. It's actually a culture. And what it does is, if we have a culture of accountability within to ourselves, and also accountability when we're dealing with other people, then what it does is it fosters that continuous improvement for ourselves. And it creates for us and within us an environment and a mindset where learning and pushing forward just becomes second nature. Becomes second nature to want to develop, becomes second nature to want to achieve. So that's accountability. That's hugely, hugely important. So the fourth is self-discipline. Self-discipline, I think, is a lovely bit of seasoning, a bit of a secret sauce that really makes the difference for us in terms of achieving or having dreams that we achieve and that become reality. So when we develop self-discipline, what it does is it brings us consistency and it brings reliability to our actions in everything that we do. And if you were to think about somebody who you admire for discipline, what qualities do they possess? What do they do? How do they show up? How do they communicate? What sort of things do they prioritize? Maybe how do they dress? How do they carry themselves? Who do you know that you admire for self-discipline? Now, what self-discipline does for us is it actually enhances our time management. It boosts our focus and it builds a resilience within us. When we continue to do it, not initially, we might stumble and that's natural. But long term, self-discipline is that key that unlocks our true potential and gets us to be like those people that we were looking at in terms of all those quotes and what they've achieved. It's the self-discipline is a huge thing. So we've got the 4 things so far. We've got our goals, our growth mindset, accountability, self-discipline. Now, the 5th and final is the SOS. I call it an SOS. And it's SOS stands for the system of support. Okay, that's the 5th and final that I say we need. So going back to our brain being that computer, integrating that accountability. We spoke about that in terms of goal setting. We talked about the brain in terms of mindset over the past couple of days. Now we talk about it in terms of accountability and self-discipline, and we pull that into a structured program or a system of support. Because a well-designed program is a vessel that helps to hold us accountable. It's a vessel that gives us tools to maintain self-discipline. Because it's very difficult to have these things without putting them in some sort of structure. So in order for us to maintain long-term, we need the SOS. We need that system of support. And when we apply it over time, then we build habits that are then helpful for us, and they can become second nature in what we do. And in terms of goal setting and goal achievement, having those 5 things and having that SOS encompassing all of them is what will carry us and our goals to fruition. Now, I have a great system, an SOS system that I'll share with you a bit later on. But these are the elements that it will have. Now, the reason why I created it is because I've worked with business people, gosh, for over 9 years now. And more recently, I've been working with the general public and in more life challenges and issues. But the majority of my experience is working with business people. And what I notice is that the life stuff generally gets in the way and affects how their business runs, which is why I believe it's key that life coaching is dealt with. Your life is dealt with, because if your life is not dealt with, then your business is not going to succeed. Your career is not going to succeed. Your relationships are not going to succeed. Your finances are not going to succeed. So your mindset and the way that you approach things in your life as a whole, because they all interact, that's really important. So going back to the working and what I would call my my market research, if you like. So working with all these people over these years, I've seen patterns, and it's the same sort of thing over and over again, which is why I developed the system. And I see that accountability is lacking, the mindset is lacking, the self-discipline is lacking, the goal setting goals is lacking, a formed SOS system of support is lacking. And they won't all be lacking all the time. We might have 2 out of the 5, or 3 out of the 5, or 4 out of the 5. And I believe that if you don't have all 5 running for you, you're not going to be successful. There are a lot of basic SOS systems out there that are really barely effective because they're only theory-based. There's no element of mindset in it. There's no element of self-discipline as part of, the SOS. So things like people will set goals and they'll do SMART goals, but that of it on its own isn't going to help you to succeed. That's just like a paper exercise. So we need to encompass all these things to be able to make sure that we're succeeding. Now, I know, and I think it's true for all of us, that you want to achieve your dreams and goals. We have them, they're within us. Many of us have had them for years and years and years, and we have these and we think, it's never going to happen. It's our nature to want these things. It's our nature to set goals and to dream big. But we can actually take our journey to the next level. We can actually release the kite. And that's something that, the reason why, as I said to you before, I put together my SOS system. And what it's called, my system is called Vision to Reality. because I always start with people with the vision that they have, the aim and the goal. My goal is to get it to reality. And to get it to reality, I help with your mindset, accountability, self-discipline, setting and ratifying, setting proper goals to be able to make sure that they're achieved. So all that is within my SOS system. So I have got a great, I think, well, vision to reality. I've put it into 3 piles because it all depends on the type of person that you are. We are not all the same. We cannot all be squeezed into a circular peg. If we're a circular peg, we can't be squeezed into a square hole. So there's got to be different things for different people, and depending where they are. So the first one that I have is bronze, and that is for people who are really self-motivated. They've got systems that work. And I would have mentioned before, if you've got things that are working, that's really important, not to dash things that are working and incorporate something new. If something works for you, it's really important to continue to do that, tweak it just to make it better. So there are lots of people out there who are self-motivating, and for them, I have the workbook. Okay, so I have a workbook, which is my SOS, and what it is consists of there's over 45 pages in there of it's a system, so it's not just loads of random things going on. Within the workbook, there's a system to start off, and it starts off similar to what we've done in terms of the goal setting, understanding self, moving on to the goal setting, making sure it's right, and continuing through. Now, using this, a person who's self-motivated can absolutely get those goals from paper to reality. And I also am including in that just a 15-minute one-to-one, just to give them an overview and just to help them with any questions or queries that they have with that. So that's my first offering. The second that I have is my silver level, and that is a group program. And what that does is it takes that power of accountability and self-discipline to the next level. Because within a group, within a setting, within a community, there's so much more that we can do. So there'll be a Facebook group, and everybody will be able to be in the Facebook group. There are going to be sessions every single week that are specifically about going through that book. So whatever was in bronze will come over. So the book is part of it, and that's working through that. But working through it in detail with me. And then if you have queries, whatever comes up, you pop them over to me and we cover the queries live in the group. And then obviously there are going to be people in different time zones, exactly as we are now, and they'll have to watch on the replay. But what I will do in terms of the group program is there will be at different times. So each week is not going to be the same time each week. So I'm in GMT, I'm in London. I might do a morning session, afternoon session, evening session. I'll rotate it so that people who are in different time zones can get the opportunity to come on live as well. There'll be other bonuses, but one important thing is the mindset. So to incorporate that in the group program, there'll be an additional session, which will be a mindfulness and mindset shift session. And that will be every week as well. And it'll be on a different day. And again, it will be recorded. So if you miss it, no problem. It will be sent over to you. And these are things that what I love about this is that it's a rinse and repeat thing. You use this to set and go through whatever goal, whatever the first 5 or the first 10 that you have on your list of 30. But then you just use it again for the next and use it again for the next. This will apply to whatever goals you have, whether they're financial, whether they're relationship, whether they are family, whether they're weight or health, personal development, whatever they are. It's a very intensive workbook and it's very detailed. So it's good stuff. I do love it. In addition, you'll get those extra bonuses. So we've got the affirmations and we've also got the Thrive in 25. And I've always got something or other, which I'll be putting in the group as well. And the Gold program is actually a one-to-one program. So you get everything in the group program, so you'll get that as well. But in addition, there is it says 10 weeks. It's not 10 weeks, it's a 12-week program. So it's every other week you will have a one-to-one coaching with me, and that's life coaching. So in terms of life coaching, it will cover whatever you want. So we'll be doing the goal setting, which is very specific, but there'll be other things that are going on in life, other things that may be affecting your goal setting. So that will cover everything. Or if you just want more intensive with the goal setting, it's whatever you want. And that is this is a really transformative experience because it's a long period of time. So it's 3 months. You can choose to run it alongside the goal setting, depending on the intensity of the goals you're working on, or you can choose to start it after the goal setting 8 weeks is over. It's up to you. But it's a really, I think this is key. I like to work with people maybe more long term because I think there's so much that goes on in terms of us and our issues and things that are holding us back. So this is a great program. So I am going to put the link for these in the chat shortly. But I will say this is not for the faint-hearted. The one-to-one program in particular, you have to be really committed to your success if you are interested. If you're not fully committed, then maybe silver is better for you. Okay, but depending on whatever level you choose, it's a great SOS system. It's a great system of support, and you will be able to get so much further on than if you don't use it. Okay. So let me pop that in the chat bar and I will go through the investment in a short while. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, so the vision to reality system is thorough, as I said before. It's about going through the process of understanding yourself because it begins with us. You work through getting your goals from your head to a clear plan of how to make them happen. And if you're in the one-to-one program or even in the group program, getting them to happen, you'll have my support to make them happen. The benefit of the silver option over the bronze is that you get the bronze anyway, and you get those interventions in the Facebook. You get the Facebook group, you get Q&A. If you need help, you get the mindfulness, all of that. So that is obviously the step up. And the benefits of the gold is that, yes, you get the silver anyway, but in addition, it is personalized, it's bespoke, 12 weeks, 6 coaching sessions, as well as all the other bits and pieces in between. So it's the help that you need. So let's run through the investment cost on these. Okay, so this is the first time I'm running this, and this is what I will be charging for these services. I've put them in dollars because it's more of an international currency. And so anybody who's in the UK can just think that they're getting the sale price because it will be cheaper than these figures. But as I said to you, this is the first time I've run this. So I will not be charging this at this stage. I want you guys who are my first cohort. Although I've run Vision to Reality before on a one-to-one basis, I've never put it into a program. So I want to be able to give the first people who are in the program a special price. So the investment is going to be considerably less. So with bronze, instead of 199 or 197, sorry, it's 109, and that's dollars. So whatever it is in whatever your currency, it might be a little bit more, a little bit less. So for silver, that group program for 8 weeks, it's barely $50 a week, or it's under $50 a week. And there is an option to pay in installments if you wanted to. So you could pay in 2 installments. And then you've got the gold, which is, again, working with me one-to-one, 6 sessions, one-to-one, you're already at that price, and that's not even with the group program. And again, that can be in 2 installments as well. Now with gold, I do have I've only got limited slots because I do have clients ready and I have to fit it in. So I have a maximum of 5 slots for the gold program. So it will be first come, first serve. And if you get that, then that's brilliant. So I wonder if you have any questions. If you do have any questions or queries, please do pop them in the chat. Or if you're on the replay, just feel free to either email me any of your questions and then I can answer them if you've got any queries or anything like that. So I've put the link for the options in the chat bar, and it will be emailed out with the replay here. But I want to just go over again. So we've got the workbook, which is 40 pages plus, or 45 plus pages. That is for people who are self-motivated. Those are for you guys who know what you're doing. You can fit it in, but it will help you get your goals from paper and get them done. And you've already got a lot of the tools and a lot of the mindset to be able to do this DIY, if you like. Now, the 15-minute session, it makes no sense just in order for you guys to take action straight away. Please do book the session in February. After February, I will not be doing the 15-minute session, because if you leave it for a whole month without working on your goals, then it's fruitless. It's just 15 minutes. And in those 15 minutes, I will be obviously challenging you, doing my coaching bit, and I will be challenging you to get started. Really important. For silver, just to go over, silver starts on the program starts on the 5th of Feb. Well, the intention is the 5th of Feb. It may start the following week, but as an 8-week program, it will end at the end of March. So we do have a week grace. So it may start, depending on what people's preferences are. I might pull it forward and keep it at the 5th of Feb, but I might push it back so that it finishes nicely at the end of March, and it gives people a bit more time to prep and prepare, because it's an 8-week program, and it's really important to commit to it, because in those 2 months, how you're going to be feeling when the goals that you have set are working, are coming to fruition, are your reality, is going to be huge. So you get the workbook with that. We've got the Facebook community. Again, you're the first cohort, so the Facebook community will be whoever is in now. And then I will be running this program, as I said before, again. And, you know, the price will be different when I run it again. I'll make some tweaks to it, make it and improve it. And the Facebook community will only grow. But you guys have the privilege of being the first there and to be able to help and meet other people who are going to come in. And we're, after all business people, mostly business people. There will be people who may be career people, but if we're business people and we've got career people in the Facebook group, they're our customers, no? They're people who can help us in what we're trying to achieve as well. So those sessions that we'll have, that I will be delivering, they'll be in the Facebook group. It will not be a recording, it won't be a Zoom call. It will be live in the Facebook group. It'll be a max of an hour, and we'll be working through the workbook. We'll be going through in order, because it is made in an order. It's not haphazard. You need to follow it through in terms of the steps. And again, it will be recorded, so then people could just do the catch up, and you have a whole week to catch up. And I wouldn't necessarily be giving you homework, but the idea is to be working through and deep diving into that workbook. There'll be an option to put questions through as and when you think of them. There'll be a form, and you'll literally just put your question down. And then when the live is there, at least I'll have a list of questions that people have got throughout the week, and it will maybe your challenges or something's got in the way, and asking for advice on that, how to deal with things. That's what I'm there for, to support you. The mindfulness, which I feel is so important, we will be doing a session that will be just a short thing. It will be 10 to 20 minutes, and that will be on a different day. Again, different days, different times of the day, so everybody gets a chance to attend live if they want to. In addition, you get the Thrive in 25 and the 52-week affirmation system, which I'll teach you how to do properly. And the final is the gold. So you get everything in the silver. You get the whole that whole program, the whole group program. And in addition, you get those 6 one-to-one sessions bi-weekly, where we really drill in and help you and get you where you want to be. Now, in addition to that, I will have Voxer support. So it'll be Voxer or maybe another program which is similar. And what that is Monday to Friday, you'll have access to me. You need to send me a message, you need support with anything, just message me, and I am at the end of the phone for you. And that's what you will get with that. And then as we go along, depending on what the challenges are or what we're working on, because it's bespoke, then whatever additional resources I need to help you with and I need to give you in terms of exercises, in terms of paperwork, in terms of whatever, I will do those to suit your needs in terms of what is applicable for you. Everybody will be different. So I only have five slots for that. So just choose which one is right for you. Are you bronze? Are you silver? Or are you gold? What do you need? But you must choose to do something. You have to start somewhere. And I'm here to support you with whichever level you want to start with. So book your place on the group, book yourself a one-to-one, or just get the workbook, whichever one you would like. So as a little incentive for fast action, I've got a little bonus. So I'm leaving it open until the end of Saturday. So midnight Saturday, in whatever time zone you are, of course. As a bonus, I'm going to give you whichever, if you go for the group program or the one-to-one coaching, you will get an additional coaching session, but that's a strategic session. That will be 1 month after the end of your program. And what that serves as will be like a follow-up, a booster session for you, because sometimes you go through a program and then you sort of fall off and you sort of, start leaning to the side, which happens. So then get in touch with me and we have another session a month after to make sure we get you back on track. Okay, so just click the link and choose whichever program you would like, whichever option you would like, gold, silver, or bronze. So guys, I would like to thank you so much for your time. I know that you have come out with at least one great nugget that you can work on. I would love to see you in one of my SOS systems. And I thank you for actually investing in yourself, because I appreciate anybody who commits to their personal and professional growth. Personal professional growth and development is important. We should always be striving for that. And those of you who know me, some of you know me, some of you have worked with me, you know that I'm really quite straight. When I'm working with you, I'm straight, I'm honest. I don't let people participate in BS. And when people commit to their growth, they're going to get where they need to get when they're working with me. So I'm really focused on getting you to excel. So I'm looking forward to be able to work with you. Let's make the most of your dreams. Let's get them to a reality, and let's do it together.